Good Monday evening, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Stinnett, along with.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Ryan Marando. Wow.
And what we're doing, we're just going to do like we always do with the storms that are ongoing. We got numerous severe thunderstorm warnings across middle Georgia. Storms are actually intensifying right now. So what we're doing is we're streaming on all our platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And again, what we're doing is watching numerous severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing across middle Georgia. So again, we're going to start off with, we'll go over into Upson and Crawford County. This storm making its way, got one storm coming into Bibb County. This is not the severe thunderstorm warning. This is the severe thunderstorm warning that sailed back towards the west. But heads up, Macon, Bibb County, we got these very strong storms working into your area. And again, winds of 60 miles per hour are going to be the main issue with storms today. Our other warnings, we got these up in Jasper County as well as Putnam County. Again, this storm over Monticello producing winds maybe 60 to 70 miles per hour. Tremendous amounts of lightning. That'll be heading over towards Eatonton. And then we got another severe thunderstorm warning, really mainly for Washington County right now. Now, it does include portions of Wilkinson County as well as Johnson County, but the main area of concern is with the cell that's moving just south of Sandersville in Washington County. Now, we'll go big picture, just show you every community across middle Georgia dealing with these strong storms. Again, back up towards LaGrange, more severe thunderstorms up in the Atlanta area, and we're going to be watching these the next several hours. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for most of middle Georgia. Now this goes until midnight tonight. All the counties you see shaded in pink, severe thunderstorm watch. That means conditions are favorable for severe storms, and we're starting to see those right now. And again, we'll be doing this all night, kind of like we always do. We'll be doing updates. We'll get off. We'll leave the stream up so you know your exact location. Talk to us on social media, Facebook and Twitter. We're streaming on that. We're checking the comments. We're on YouTube as well as WGXA.tv. So again, severe weather coverage until the threat is over. And again, you see our main areas of concern near Sandersville. That storm producing tremendous amounts of lightning. And then as we get in over towards Macon and Bibb County, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at that storm on our Mercer camera and see it coming up into the city of Macon as we speak, because that looks pretty ominous. And again, I would not be surprised if we get an extension or an additional severe thunderstorm warning with that storm coming into Macon, as well as most of Bibb County. So what I'll do is I'll put this on behind me, and we'll get it going, and we'll get the cameras all ready so you can see what we're seeing. Again, this is Mercer. There's five-star stadium. We're looking off towards the east-southeast right now. I'm going to spin this camera back around to the west where that storm is coming from, and maybe we'll see something pretty ominous as far as the overall thunderstorm. Again, not severe threat, but it's getting ready to move into our population center around Macon and the Bibb County, so we're going to keep an eye on it the next couple of minutes. Again, conditions are very favorable for strong storms this evening all across middle Georgia. Gusty winds up to 60, 70 miles per hour. Some of these storms up in North Georgia have been producing tremendous amounts of damage, especially tree and power issues. So that's what we're waiting and watching for, and that's what we're looking at right now. Now, what this is, ominous sky. This is tremendous amounts of rainfall, kind of where it looks fuzzy and hazy. That is a very heavy area of rain. We'll be watching, maybe we'll get some lightning showing up within this. But again, this is looking off towards the west, towards Lake Tobo, and that's what we're looking at, again, from Mercer University, right there at Interstate 75. Not a severe storm, but this strong storm getting ready to move into portions of Macon, Bibb County, and again, it's coming out of Crawford County. Again, we're checking social media. Let us know what you're seeing. And looks like we're getting some, nope, that's just regular text. We get all our texts and stuff. warnings and texts sent to us. So anytime we get a update on a warning, we get notified pretty quickly. So that's what we're dealing with right now. So just getting things lined up. It's going to be an active evening. All right, you got Nick. You're asking about Warner Robins. We'll dive down into Warner Robins right now. We'll look at the radar. Again, Warner Robins has had a few areas of rain and thunderstorms right now. Nothing severe. It's really just to the south of Warner Robins where we're seeing this heaviest activity. So the Air Force Base is right about here. Here's Warner Robins itself. You got Bon Air and then down towards Perry. Again, these are strong storms, a lot of lightning, gusty winds. Again, watching that storm coming out of Peach and Crawford County, tremendous amounts of rainfall. Lizella, Rutland, this will be heading towards downtown Macon very shortly. So if you are in downtown Macon, maybe one of the restaurants or bars downtown, I'd be definitely heading inside because we're about to get blasted with some heavy rainfall and lots of lightning with these storms coming through. Additionally, there's the severe thunderstorm, again, right along U.S. Highway 19 in southern Upson County. That'll be heading over into central Crawford County, New Muzella, north of Roberta, and then clipping portions of Monroe County. That's the southern part of Monroe County. Here's the county line. So we'll be watching this storm. Again, they're pulsing up in intensity and pulsing down. And then looking down towards, say, Macon County, Sumter County, relatively quiet. You get down towards Unadilla, Cordele, Abbeville, it's all quiet and calm. Like yesterday, you'll get the storms later. We had them across the northern areas yesterday early, and then they shifted down towards the south. Now up in Jasper and Putnam County, again, you see intense rainfall, lightning, winds, maybe 60 miles per hour. Gusting, again, possibly as high as 70 in some of these locations. And it's wind. It's a wind issue with these storms today and through the rest of this evening. And again, this will be heading over towards Eatonton, right over Monticello right now. Don't need to be outside. You definitely want to be indoors. Lots of lightning, heavy rainfall, and we're starting to hear some thunder here again in the city of Macon. Got meteorologist Ryan Marando joining me right now. He's checking with NWS Chat. Marando, are they suggesting anything right this second?
This is looking out over Mercer University. See the camera slightly shaking at this over Mercer, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning that we're looking at off to the west. Crawford County,
All right, and that's the storm Ryan is talking about right there. Again, it's a severe thunderstorm warning until 7 p.m. for portions of northern Johnson County. Now, north of Wrightsville, Wilkinson County, you're kind of clear from this storm, so that's certainly some good news. It's mainly over Washington County. Again, until 7 p.m., that's about 13 minutes away. Wind at least 60 miles per hour. You see all the lightning, and that's, I have to agree with Ryan, that does look like one of the stronger storms. You get down towards especially southern portions of Twiggs County, Danville, south of Jeffersonville, get over towards Bon Air, Warner Robins. You're kind of in between cells. You got this intense storm up near Byron, heading up towards Rutland and Macon, and then you got these storms just south of Warner Robins, very near where the Buc-ee's is, and that'll be sliding over towards Bon Air and then over into Bleckley County. Again, Macon itself, it's about to get very rough in downtown Macon. You got Lake Tobo. This is what we have as Bass Road. This is Interstate 75, and then it turns into 16. 75 drops south and tags back in at 475. Again, Middle Georgia State had an 18-wheeler that got flipped over with that earlier storm. The Georgia Patrol saying likely the winds blew the tractor trailer over. So that was right there at US 80 as well as Interstate 475, and then we're getting this next round of storms moving in, and then we got the severe thunderstorm warning for Monroe, Upson, and Crawford County. And again, it's this part of the storm that's dealing with the most intense form of wind. You see all that lightning, and that'll be heading over towards the east-northeast. Again, moving about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So Muzella, you're up next for this storm as it gets ready to move into Crawford County. Again, if it's not storming at your location, it is very hot. Dangerous heat has been an issue today. Still feels like temperatures over 105 in many locations. So again, that's why we had that excessive heat warning today and that heat advisory. But now these storms are starting to develop, and they're feeding off of all that fuel that has built today underneath that heat. Again, here is that severe thunderstorm watch again until midnight for our central and northern counties. This could certainly be extended, but you don't have to be in a watch to get a warning. A lot of times a watch will be, severe weather can occur in and around a watch area. So again, just because you're not in a watch down for Wrightsville, Lawrence County, down towards Dodge County, doesn't mean you won't see severe weather, and we could certainly see this watch extended as we head into the evening hours as well. So that's what we're looking at. Just a lot of activity on the radar. You're getting to close to 7 o'clock, and these storms are really feeding off of all that heat, humidity that's across middle Georgia today. Again, Crawford, Upson, as well as portions of Monroe County, severe thunderstorm warning. Jasper County, Putnam County, severe thunderstorm warning, and really mainly into Washington County and then sliding over into Emmanuel County. That's where we have our 3 strongest storms. But again, around Twiggs County as well as Bleckley County, even portions of getting over towards, say, Talbot County, and then you get into Pike County as well as Meriwether County, strong thunderstorms, and we'll be watching those as they push over towards the rest of Upson County as well as Lamar County, and maybe up towards Forsyth. So again, any of these storms, they're intensifying, so we could likely see additional warnings over the next few minutes, and that's what we're dealing with across middle Georgia as we speak. So pick out your location. May not be raining right now, especially in our southern counties, but we'll have more storms later this evening. And again, this is going to persist the next several hours across middle Georgia. Again, coming into downtown Macon as we speak. I'll go back to the Mercer camera. We'll check on it. It's raining, but not too heavily just yet. I think that rain's about to make its way into, say, right over Mercer University. And I'll go over to the Macon camera right now. We're looking downtown Macon, looking off towards the east. What we're going to do is we're going to spin this camera around, give you a vantage point looking back off towards the west where that storm is coming from.
And Ryan, I wanted to butt in really fast while you do that.
Go ahead.
The National Weather Service has already issued a local storm report from an emergency manager in Washington County with some of those big thunderstorms right now. They said a tree was down in the 7,000 block of GA of State Route 24 between Sandersville and Davisboro. So that one severe storm is already producing damage that's downing trees, potentially could be doing even more once that storm really moves out of there.
All right, thank you, Miranda. And again, that's just confirming that these storms are starting to produce damage. Now, again, we're looking due west from our Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast network. This is on top of our TV station in downtown Macon. We're at MLK Boulevard. And again, this looks hazy. This is tremendous amounts of rainfall coming down, approaching downtown. You see it's kind of clear on this side, kind of clear on this side. So here's the cell. It's making its way towards downtown Macon as we speak. A lot of rainfall. Yesterday when I was doing severe weather coverage, we got some great shots of lightning strikes. So we'll watch this just for a second as this gets ready to come in. But again, even if you're not under a severe thunderstorm warning, these storms capable of producing 40 to 50 mile per hour winds that can certainly bring down trees and cause power issues, especially the amount of storm activity we've seen this summer. It seems like every time we get one of these clusters of storms rolling through, someone is having tree or power issues. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that very carefully. Again, looking back at the radar, as Marando was saying, that we are seeing confirmed reports from the EMA in Washington County, trees down. So these storms are producing some sort of damage over into Washington County. And again, from Monticello heading over towards Eatonton, that's where we have our next severe thunderstorm warning. And then you got the thunderstorm warning for Upson County, southern portions of Monroe County, as well as portions of Crawford County. Nothing for Macon-Bibb County or Peach or Houston County, but I think it's just a matter of time. These storms are starting to intensify, so we'll see. We already had one severe thunderstorm warning earlier over downtown Macon. That's actually this storm over in Sandersville. The warning expired because the storm weakened, and then it has gotten over into our eastern communities, ramped back up, so now we are seeing more warnings with it as it continues to push off towards the east. So that is what we're dealing with. Numerous severe thunderstorm warnings across middle Georgia, and again, we are expecting additional ones to be issued. I'm going to go back outside and check on the camera because we should start to see the rain making it here to the station. And actually, I'm going to pan back towards the right a little bit so you can see MLK Boulevard when the rain hits. See a few raindrops hitting our camera as we speak. And that's what we're going to be dealing with the next few minutes in downtown Macon. You can start to see the raindrops. But very heavy rainfall, gusty winds with the storm coming through. And I'll actually see if I can pan down a little bit, maybe see some of the trees, see if we can see the wind, maybe whipping those as they come through. But again, this is at our station in downtown Macon. And again, looking across the river, that's pretty ominous too. There's another downpour with this storm approaching. It's clear here, clear here. This is very heavy rainfall. And again, that's going to be across the Ocmulgee River, getting into portions of Jones County, essentially. Again, but we're going to watch this for a minute as that storm gets ready to move into the downtown Macon. Again, we can hear the thunder at our station right here in downtown. So the storm is very close. That's what we're dealing with right now. Until it gets closer, let's go back to the radar. Again, just giving people an idea. Several severe thunderstorm warnings, tremendous amounts of lightning with these storms. You step outside today, it has been oppressively hot. That is all that heat and humidity combining together, and that's what's fueling these storms as we head into the evening hours. And again, they stretch back into east central Alabama. We'll likely see additional warnings back towards the Columbus area. So again, we're just going to watch these bands of heavy thunderstorms the next couple of hours and really waiting. You see the lightning output starting to increase with these storms, and that lets us know that these storms are intensifying. So I'll say shortly, I would not be surprised to get a severe thunderstorm warning for, say, Bleckley County, maybe in the Lawrence County and around maybe Bibb County. Go ahead.
I was looking at some of the velocity. The one area in northern Crawford County and southern Monroe County, the radar is estimating winds up to 65 miles per hour, close to 70 with that one cluster right there just east of Culloden.
All right.
I just thought that was super interesting to point that out.
Yeah, that's what we're dealing with today, these gusty winds. And again, what I've done, I've taken the reflectivity off. That's what we see for rain, and I've replaced it with the velocity, and this is the winds, and this is what Ryan was talking about. This bright area of green you see showing winds 65 miles per hour. That's a severe thunderstorm. That's damaging wind gusts coming across southern Monroe County and northern portions of Crawford County with this storm right now. So here's Russellville. This is going to be making its way into Bibb County very shortly. So right along US 74, and that'll be heading really towards, say, Zebulon Road, that portion of Macon. That's what we're going to be looking at. And that's some new updates on
they cut off some of the counties for the severe thunderstorm watch. They took off Monroe County and Jasper, Butts, and Lamar County. And most areas to the north and west up towards Atlanta.
All right, so we'll queue this back up or query this back up. And again, this is getting ready to move into, this is coming into Bibb County right now. So over near Lake Tobosoffke, winds 65 miles per hour with this storm. Again, that's likely producing some sort of tree and power issues. So that's what we're dealing with. Other areas within the storm we can look at, that's going to be back towards the west. We'll head over towards Culloden. You get into southern Monroe County. That's what we're going to check in this area. And again, why it's changing color is because of the radar. We're currently looking off the Robbins Air Force Base radar. When we get a little closer to Monroe County, we get closer to the Peachtree City radar. So if we see these colors change, that is the issue. Our system picks up on different winds. So I'm not seeing any issues with wind in that part of the storm. Let's see what we got here. 67 mile per hour velocity wind product, again, southern Monroe County, and that's within that severe thunderstorm warning in southern Monroe County. So we're watching that. I'm going to go back to the camera real quick in downtown Macon. Starting to hear rain hit the roof here at the station. So temperatures down to 78 degrees. It's been as hot as 96 in downtown Macon. At one point today, we had a heat index here at the TV station. We have an instrument on our roof of 116. So at least the rain is knocking down some of these oppressive temperatures we're dealing with across middle Georgia. But that's what we're going to be dealing with really the next few hours as we continue to deal with these storms in middle Georgia. Again, Macon, very intense storm. It's not severe, but still need to be taking your precautions. I'll go look at that watch real quick. I don't see how they changed it. And so hopefully we can say that, case in point, you're not in the severe thunderstorm watch anymore in Monroe County, but you have a severe thunderstorm warning. So I don't know why they trimmed that out just yet. That's a little odd, even though we got severe storms ongoing. But again, severe thunderstorm watch continues until midnight. And once this back edge of these storms get through middle Georgia, I think the rest of the watch will be canceled, but that's still a couple of hours away. But again, you can track it, say, from Butts County back towards, say, LaGrange. That's where we're going to be looking. North and west of there, the severe weather threat is over. Now we're moving down into our, that's that new warning for Hancock County, correct?
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
the new severe thunderstorm warning that's out for Hancock County. This does include still portions of Washington County and Baldwin County too for winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour and penny-sized hail. This is in place until 7:45 p.m.
All right, so there is the new warning. This is the initial warning for, well, that's the warning north of there. Let me pull this down a little bit so we're not confusing. But you got the initial warning for Jasper and Putnam that goes until 7:15. It's about 13 minutes away. Here's the new warning that Ryan was just talking about, mainly for Hancock County, but it does clip portions of Washington County as well as northern portions of Baldwin County. And what I'll do is I'll take the warnings off of here and we'll go look at the storms, just giving you a general idea. Looks like mainly the issues continuing to be the wind with these storms. And we'll pull the velocity product in on this storm. Maybe we'll look for some higher wind gusts. Very hard to see, but again, that's what we're looking for. We'll cue this area right here and see what it says. Winds 56, or -6, but 56 miles per hour is essentially what you're looking at. So do That's just giving you an idea that these storms are producing some very gusty winds as they move through. Go back to Macon real quick to see if the rain has really started falling. I mean, it's raining in downtown Macon, but we don't have that downpour just yet over. There's that severe thunderstorm warning for Bibb County. So we now have a severe thunderstorm warning for Bibb County. It's the storm coming into the city of Macon, or actually the one to the north where we were tracking those very gusty winds. This is going to be for the northern portions of the city. It does include downtown, but that core area, this is going to be going through Vineville, up towards Bass Road. You get over towards Eisenhower Boulevard. This is the part of the storm we're going to be watching very carefully. Then it'll cross 75 and get over into Jones County, and that new warning does include Jones County. But again, we're going to look at this. I want to look at the velocity because that was showing some pretty impressive winds with this storm, and that's what we're looking at. Right over Lizella, Lake Tobisoffke. You need to be in your safe place. I know you're thinking this isn't a tornado warning, but these winds are very dangerous. They're howling across western portions of Bibb County as we speak. And just to give you an idea, we're getting some wind reports, 70 miles per hour winds with this storm. And this is going to be heading towards Macon. So if you're in the city of Macon, you need to be getting in your safe place just because these winds are going to be causing significant wind damage as they come through the city itself. Again, it's out near the lake right now towards Lizella along US 80. 475, you're going to get this first near the Eisenhower Boulevard as well as Mercer Boulevard. Then that'll continue over towards downtown. You got Highway 41. That's going to be your Vineville Boulevard. And again, the wind's 70 miles per hour as we speak. Likely with this storm, that's why we're going with that new severe thunderstorm warning. We'll check some other locations closer to the Lizella. Again, 73 miles per hour. 74 mile per hour wind, that's hurricane strength. So very intense winds coming into Macon County or Bibb County right now, the city of Macon, urging everyone to be in their safe place. There's going to be a lot of trees coming down with this storm coming across Bibb County as we speak. So we'll keep an eye on that. And Ryan, on the wording from the Weather Service, are they specifically saying considerable or destructive winds?
I think they have not said anything specifically about this one yet. They did just issue a new one for Johnson County, but I think something to keep an eye on is notice from those top severe thunderstorm warnings in Jasper and Putnam counties, there's a bit of an outflow boundary that's coming out of them and heading southwards towards Jones County. That's going to be interesting to see if that interacts at all with some of the storms that are kind of over towards Jones, southern Monroe County,
All right,
and see how they
this
interact.
little thin line right here, this is what Ryan is talking about. It's the outflow boundary. We were talking about it yesterday during severe weather. This is the cooler air rushing south out of the thunderstorm. It's going to rush down into these thunderstorms, and a lot of times that can cause interaction with maybe these storms intensifying. So do keep that in mind that we are watching several things. But again, main areas of concern now over into really eastern Putnam County. I'll give you the all clear as far as the severe weather threat in Jasper County. You're still under the warning, but that storm is well over into Putnam County, heading into Hancock County. Here's the storm. Southern Monroe County, Macon-Bibb County right now, especially from downtown Macon off towards the north and then over towards Gray. This storm going to be heading your direction. And again, it is looks like it's producing winds. We're getting some wind reports, 60 to 70 miles per hour. And what I'll do is I'll put a tracker on this, give you a general idea of what we're going to be seeing as it moves off towards the north and east, about 35 miles per hour. So also give you, there's the shops at River Crossing, so that's going to be about 720. Next few minutes, we're going to be seeing if we're getting any damage from these storms because this is going to be coming right through our population core throughout Bibb County. But Lake Wildwood at 713, getting near Westland University at 718, and then it's going to continue to slide over towards Jones County. So that is what we're watching, and are we still getting more and more warnings?
Yeah, that warning now was for areas in Lawrence County, East Central Bleckley County, and Central Johnson County. until 8 o'clock, again, for winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour, to expect damage to roof siding or trees over this next 50 minutes with that warning.
All right, so this is what we're dealing with. We've got numerous severe thunderstorm warnings right now across middle Georgia as these storms continue to ramp up in intensity. You got severe thunderstorm warning for Crawford County, southern Monroe County, much of Bibb County. New severe thunderstorm warning for Lawrence County, including the city of Dublin, portions of Johnson County, and portions of Bleckley County. Then you got the severe thunderstorm warnings from Jasper County into Putnam County, into Hancock County, and into northern Washington County. And again, we're watching these very carefully. Tornado threat is low, it's not zero, but again, these storms likely producing winds of 60 to perhaps 70 miles per hour, especially with this storm approaching Macon as we speak. So we'll go back and we'll look at the Macon camera, see what we can see. And again, the worst of this storm is actually going to be passing north of where our camera is. That's what it looks like. So maybe I can pull up Mercer University, see what that camera may be looking at, and maybe we can get a better vantage point on that storm as we look off towards the west. So there is the shelf cloud, and you see the very heavy rainfall. This is what is Interstate 75 heading south. That's what we're looking at, but that is very ominous as it moves into the city of Macon and right at Mercer University. Now our camera is right there across from Five Star Stadium, very near Amici, so that's what we're looking at, and that's what we're dealing with currently. So, and Miranda, let me know if you're seeing anything on the camera or in the chat about this storm. But again, we're looking off towards the west, towards Lake Tobo right now. And again, this is just a wall of wind and rain that's going to be making its way towards the city of Macon very shortly. So I'm actually controlling the camera right now. So we're looking off towards the west. Again, ominous sky. That's a severe thunderstorm that we're going to be watching, perhaps producing some hail. These storms can be producing some hail, maybe up to penny size. But again, we're going to continue to watch this over the next few minutes as it rolls into the city of Macon. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to spin it back around and look at the shelf cloud, and we can kind of break down that a little bit, giving you an idea of what we're seeing. But again, storm is coming this direction. We're looking kind of off towards the southwest right now, but this is what we call the shelf cloud. You got a clearing out ahead of the storm, and you got this cooler air coming out from the storm that's producing these scud clouds. Now, these are ominous looking clouds. We call these SLCs a lot of times, that's scary looking clouds. So again, it looks ominous. It's no threat. It's a harmless scud. But again, this is what we're watching, and you can kind of see the rain is starting to block out the sunlight on the backside, and this is coming right towards Mercer University as well as downtown Macon and most of the city of Macon as we speak. So that is what we're dealing with here in Middle Georgia as we speak. And again, winds easily could be 60 miles per hour, possibly gusting as high as 70. And again, we'll know very shortly if the storm is producing those damaging wind gusts because it's getting ready to move into our population core around Macon-Bibb County, and we're going to start getting reports. So Ryan, let me know if you're seeing any reports from the Weather Service, power outages, or anything like that.
Right.
I'm going to look at social media real quick.
The power outage graphic also did just update. There's been quite a few outages. I still have to do some adjustings with the exact counties, but so far the biggest county across Middle Georgia is about Wilkinson County. They have about 10% of their tracked outages out. There's about 256 areas that are out. In Houston County is another big one. There's about 500 outages there. Here in Bibb County, we have 800 outages. So we're seeing definitely some reports come in. Peach County has almost 500. Jasper, Butts County above 300. Washington about 250. So the power outages are already starting to climb up. I think so far there's been a very large number. There's about 200,000 outages in Georgia right now, but there's still quite a lot in the mid-states.
All right. Thank you, sir. And again, I think that number's going to continue to climb with the intensity of these thunderstorms. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. It does include southern portions of Bibb County and getting over into Twiggs County. Now, I got a lot of people asking me on social media, Warner Robins, Bonaire, Perry, It's quiet right now, but there are more storms coming your direction. So go ahead and be prepared. These storms off towards the west over near Fort Valley, they're not severe, but they will be producing heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning, and they'll be making their way into Houston County very shortly. Again, here's 75. Between Perry and Warner Robins, of course, the Buc-ee's is located there. Everybody knows where the Buc-ee's is. And then you head up towards the city of Macon itself. Over into Dublin, Lawrence County, severe thunderstorm warning, and maybe we should pull up that camera as well to see what we can see over in Dublin as we speak. Again, these cameras let us see everything real time, what's going on over in Lawrence County. So we'll pull that up real quick, let that process, and then we'll pull up that graphic. And again, we're going to be looking. Okay, now this is looking off towards the east. This is rain you see falling. Very ominous sky. This is the Jefferson Street Baptist Church. So we're looking north along Jefferson Street. And again, we'll pan this around a little bit as well. And again, this is what we're going to be seeing. Scary looking clouds, heavy rainfall, and lightning with these storms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan this one back towards the northwest and into the west a little bit, because that's where the actual storm is that's moving into. And again, you see the lightning showing up. There's the shelf cloud. That is a very ominous cloud across much of Dublin right now, or approaching Dublin. And you see the dark area behind it. That's just a wall of wind and rain and maybe some hail coming in. So again, ominous sky over the city of Dublin. Going to see this as your shelf cloud. This is why this looks like this is warm air is riding up and over, so it's making kind of like a slant. So the warm air is heading up while the cooler air spreads out, and that's why we get this cloud. And again, 82 degrees right now in Dublin, but again, this is the heaviest part of the thunderstorm, heavy rainfall, and then these are sheets of rain as well off towards the north of Dublin, but again, the main area of the west, that's where the severe thunderstorm is. And again, I'll continue to pan this around as well, just giving you a general idea of what we're seeing. Ominous sky moving into Dublin. Again, you get back to far enough to the south and west, you can actually see clearing. So again, this is the entire storm right here, the storm structure, and this is going to be making its way towards Dublin very shortly, and that's why Lawrence County is under a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, more scary looking clouds. These are harmless as far as the clouds. These are not tornadoes or funnel clouds or anything. These are just what we call a scud and essentially a shelf cloud. And you're seeing quite a bit of lightning with that storm as well. So again, it looks very ominous, and that's the severe thunderstorm. It's going to be making its way into Dublin shortly. But again, impressive structure. This shows to you that it's a very strong, well-defined storm, and that's why we have that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, that's for down in Dublin in Lawrence County as we speak. So that looks pretty impressive is what we look for. Structure of the storm, and again, showing us that it's a strong thunderstorm, and all our cameras are showing that across middle Georgia this evening because these are very intense thunderstorms coming through. But we'll go back to the radar, give everybody a big picture, see what we're looking at once again.
Ryan, you may want to focus a little bit on the storm that's moving into Macon right now.
Okay.
That wind core is moving right into South Macon. Still winds are up to 70, up near 70 miles per hour, about to move into kind of the heart of Macon, especially for South Macon.
All right, so that's what we'll go with. Again, city of Macon, it is a mess from Bolingbroke to Bass Road. You get over to Riverside Drive, Arkwright, down towards Lizella, along Zebulon Road, Eisenhower Boulevard, get down into downtown Macon. Very stormy right now, and that's what we're going to be dealing with. As Ryan was saying, we'll look at the winds, and that's going to be the main issue with these storms. Looks like, yeah, as you were saying, that core threat coming into the really southern portions down towards Terracotta. Here's Rutland, and we'll put a query on that just to give us an idea of maybe some of the stronger winds. 106, I hope that's not true.
I was thinking
because that would be quite impressive. But that's just giving you an idea that that's a
crazy.
very intense thunderstorm. Let's choose another location. Again, this is 64 miles per hour. That's certainly more believable. If we're seeing 103 or 106, we got big issues about to occur. But again, 64 mile per hour, that's severe winds. That's moving into portions of Macon as we speak. Again, here is 41. Pionona Avenue is essentially what that is. And then you get 129 dropping you down towards Rutland. That's how you get down towards the airport. And this is actually going to pass very near the Macon airport. And they have a great observation. It looks like it's going to pass a little north of the airport, actually. And we would see if we could see any verification on those winds. But again, very gusty winds. We'll go back to the rooftop camera here at the station. Again, just giving you an idea, we can hear the rain falling over downtown Macon. And again, this is looking, that's not Macon, that's Dublin. But again, that's what we're going to be dealing with. A little bit of a lag on this. So there we go. All right, you see the heavy rainfall is moving into the city as we speak. We're going to be watching some of these crepe myrtles across the street and some of these trees. We'll see how strong those winds get, but you kind of see the sheets of rain moving through downtown Macon as we speak, and that's, again, winds 60 to 70 miles per hour. You're getting some glitches with the power issues because we do have lightning moving into the area as well. So again, I'm off camera, we're just looking at stuff, just giving you a real view what's happening in downtown Macon as we speak. We'll be looking at social media, we're looking at comments. We're going to be trying to answer as many questions as possible to everyone that's being impacted by these storms, but there's just so many storms right now. And again, this is just showing you downtown Macon. See a few cars out. This is MLK Boulevard. Again, this is live at our station in downtown Macon. And again, you see the bands of rain, the rain starting to come in sideways. So that's showing you some very gusty winds. You see the flashes of lightning. And again, this is our third storm over Macon today. We had one earlier this afternoon, had a severe thunderstorm warning during the mid-afternoon, and then this is our next round. And again, you see it's getting heavier and heavier outside. You got those gusty winds, starting to see the trees and those crepe myrtles really start to blow in the wind as we look down into our parking lot. So that is what we're dealing with. Again, that's in downtown Macon. City of Macon itself, that's where we're dealing with these intense storms moving through as we speak. And just check out the amount of lightning up into northern portions of Bibb County. That's got to be overdoing it. That's got to be a radar glitch or something, because that is a lot of lightning showing up. And again, severe thunderstorm warning for Bibb County across portions of, well, that's good. They're canceling the watch, but then they extend the watch. So we'll go to that graphic and see what's changing on it. So there we go. Severe thunderstorm watch being trimmed away towards our north and west. It's been extended off towards our south and east. So now all of our southeastern communities are included. Does include Crisp County, Dooley County, Dodge County, Telfair, as well as Wheeler and Montgomery County. Lawrence County, you're included in this as well. We should see these counties drop off here shortly. As the storms push through, the severe weather threat will be winding down. And again, this goes until midnight, but the threat will be over with by midnight, I assure you, across middle Georgia. But yeah, that's got to be some sort of lightning glitch, the data ingesting, because those storms aren't producing that much lightning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off for a minute, so it doesn't look as overpowering as it is, and we'll focus on the storms once again. Again, here is what we're looking at down in portions of Macon, as well as really southern portions of Bibb County, where we're seeing some of these stronger storms, getting an idea that maybe coming through 58 miles per hour. This is again approaching, here's Interstate 75, and then that's going to be 41, so Pionona Avenue, and then that's where we're seeing maybe winds 58. That'll be heading into downtown Macon. Got similar wind velocities down towards Rutland as well. So again, a lot of wind, a lot of rain with these storms. I'll be anxious to see if we start getting any power outages across Macon as well. But again, looking back towards the west, you get down into Macon County itself, down towards Marshallville, heading up into Peach County. Strong storm. That's going to be near Fort Valley State, heading over towards Byron. And again, that's about to approach 75. Then it moves over into Warner Robins, Bon Air, and Perry itself. Not currently severe storm warned, but that doesn't mean you can't have tree and power issues. So do keep that in mind, especially along 75. If you're about to hit 75, give it a minute. Let these storms pass. We'll go back towards the east. Again, Dublin. And again, ignore the lightning really ramping up because there's a lightning glitch. But here's another one of those outflow boundaries that we're going to be watching. And again, you see that south of Dublin. You see very strong winds and thunderstorm activity coming into Dublin itself. And then you get back over into getting just to the west or east of us. That's over in Emmanuel County now. That was that storm in Washington and Johnson County that produced some tree issues. And then you get into northern Washington County. We have this new severe thunderstorm warning that does include Hancock County. Ominous. This got to be a rough time on Lake Sinclair, and hopefully no one is on the lake currently as that storm makes its way into Hancock County. Sparta, you're about to get rocked by this storm, as well as Worthing, and then you get over into towards Mitchell. Down towards the south, again, heavy storms coming into Milledgeville, storms near Gray, down into the city of Macon, Lizella, Bolingbroke. Anywhere in the city of Macon, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, that's going to continue for the next few minutes. Just giving you a general idea, we got a lot of storms ongoing. And again, as soon as these storms pass, the severe weather threat's going to be over. So that's certainly some good news. It's going to be a one and done event as far as these storms pushing off towards the south and east. I'm going to turn the lightning off. Again, it's a little overpowering. There's a little data glitch, but storms extend back towards the Alabama state line. We'll watch those from Thomaston to Forsyth up to Monticello, Jackson, and Butts County. You're in the clear as far as the severe weather threat. This is all essentially from Sparta, Milledgeville, Gray. You get down towards Bolingbroke into, say, portions of, say, Crawford County near Roberta, and then down towards Butler, and then off towards the south. That's where we're going to be watching these storms over the next couple of minutes. Go ahead, Bruce, chime in for me.
Thank you. I am Bruce. So, kind of just a wider picture of what's going on right now. It's currently 7:25, about to be 7:26, and we've got just about 4 warnings out for our viewing area. We have one that's mostly for Hancock County and Sparta with the heavy downpours. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that's over for you. It does include portions of Baldwin County and Washington County. This is in effect until 7:45. We've got the damaging wind threat. We've got 2 more further off to the south. Almost the entirety of Bibb County is under a severe thunderstorm warning, but we have that one that extends into southern Jones County, southern Monroe County, and also clips portions of Twiggs County. That one is in effect until 7:45 for the northern one and 8 o'clock for the southern one. And then we have one more further to the south and east near Dublin. Almost all of Lawrence County north of Cadwell is in the severe thunderstorm warning. It clips into Johnson County and Bleckley County as well. And this one is in effect until 8 o'clock. So most of these severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect for the next half an hour or so. If you live in these areas, you really do want to take them seriously. We've been dealing with severe rounds the past several weeks with these storms that have come through. They down those trees, the power lines. There's also been several power outages already, not necessarily just in Middle Georgia, but across the entire state. There's been a very high number of outages that's been reported from these storms, and I'm sure that once all these storms begin to clear out, we'll see the damage that's left behind. So when you're under these warnings, any kind of tree could be falling at any time, and it's always a priority to take these seriously, to get away from the windows, to stay inside, preferably to be in an interior room if at all possible, because with even some of these damaging winds, if they're up to 70 miles per hour, that can produce the same amount of damage as a weak isolated tornado. So even though we don't have any tornado warnings out there, these severe thunderstorm warnings definitely want to be taking them seriously with the damage that they can provide, in addition to the very heavy downpours and that frequent lightning. If you're close enough anytime to a thunderstorm that you can hear the thunder, you can get struck by lightning. So when we have any storms out there, it's always a good idea to take that inside. And staying weather aware through the rest of tonight, always the best option is to download the WGXA Skywatch weather app. It is such a handy tool because it doesn't overwhelm you with anything with all these storms. You put in your excuse me, specific location and it tells it for you when there is a watch issued for your location, when there's a warning over you, so you know immediately. You don't even have to find it or do any research. It says it out loud for you, so you can immediately be weather aware. And it has been going off for me here in Macon as we have the severe thunderstorm warning that's producing those damaging winds. So this right now, what Mr. Stinnett is showing is the wind structure of the storm. This dive past the rain and is able to show us how fast the winds are. The green means the winds are moving towards the radar site, and that red over there on the very right means the winds are moving away. So we're pinging this specific area in Jones County. They're saying the radar is indicating the winds up to 55 miles per hour. So we get these heavy downpours and that wind gust that can definitely down the trees. So hopefully if you have any outdoor furniture or trash cans outside, you've been able to secure them for today. If you didn't have the chance to do that, you may want to do it for tonight once the storms pass over, as we have another risk for severe storms tomorrow. That mainly looks to be Macon and southwards, but I'm sure that really anyone could get a strong storm tomorrow as well. So even after today, there will be a strong risk for some severe storms again tomorrow. We've been dealing with a lot of the heat, and that extra juice in the atmosphere has really been able to fire up storms that have been moving on through. And most of the East Coast is actually getting these severe storms. It's not only us as well, even with that, just a tremendous amount of lightning. Okay, so here's a new severe thunderstorm warning. They're kind of anticipating for that line that's moving through Macon and now into southern Jones County. So let's get the actual wording from the National Weather Service. This is for a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of southern Baldwin County, Wilkinson County, northeastern Twiggs County, Washington County, and southeastern Jones County until 7 p.m. The National Weather Service says at 8:28 p.m. severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Linton to near Ivy to near Mountain Springs, moving east at 35 miles per hour. This storm could pack even more damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, or even some penny-sized hail. I have been looking off screen a few times. There have been a few hail cores that the radar is indicating. Not sure if there's much going on with that at this point, but even some of these storms could be packing some small to medium-sized hail. There's just so much updrafts, so much energy with the storms. They're lofting all of the precipitation and the rain, and it's very cold up there, so it's frozen. And the more the updrafts are stronger, the longer that ice is up there and accumulates as hail. And then once it gets too heavy, that's when it falls out of the storm. So we're putting a little tracker on this new severe thunderstorm warning that's issued. It's moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. So some of the towns in the path of the storm is Ivy at 7:32, Gordon at 7:39, Massey Hill 7:42, Brook Springs 7:48, Clayfield 7:52, Dedrick at 7:54, Edgar's 7:56, McIntyre 7:58, Irvington at 8:01, and Tennell at 8:03. Even Brook Springs still in that path as well. So if you're in this area, Oconee is in that, Harrison, you really do want to stay inside, get away from the windows. We have damaging winds that could be knocking the trees, the power lines that could fall on your house or near your house. So when these warnings are issued, you do definitely want to take them very seriously. And we are still even getting some storm reports that are coming in. These are still areas mostly where the storms have subsided in North Macon or North Georgia. As these continue to move through, we'll get storm reports that come in after the storms roll through. But some areas the National Weather Service is highlighting over near Truist Park. They're saying a tree was down. So they're reporting already with some of these strong winds that are coming through, and almost positively that there'll be some sort of damage that's coming out of some of these storms. Hopefully no one gets hurt. That's why you want to always take the warning seriously. Those trees can just down anything. If you're all driving along the road and you have these heavy downpours coming over you, it is definitely, if you don't feel comfortable driving at a reduced speed or any with that blinding rain, you don't want to pull over off the highway on the shoulder. If you can get off at an exit and then pull over, that's always the safest option, just for future reference. It's just a safer option rather than being directly on the highway. And if you're going under an overpass, you do not want to park under the overpasses. I know it might seem beneficial to protect your car, but parking under those overpasses can really cause some issues, especially with the traffic that's trying to move through. That could cause a lot of issues as well. So that's looking ahead to the future if you're ever caught in some of the strong storms. But we still do have quite a few of these severe thunderstorm warnings out there. Ryan, maybe can we show a camera maybe down for? So that's actually the app that is telling me that we have a new warning. So definitely always a great idea to download the WGXA Skywatch weather app because it is really helpful, and it even helps me get some of this stuff done. So we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. That one's just been updated. They're kind of trimming off the edge of that
Yeah, that's what
leading
they're
edge.
doing.
Okay, so they're kind of trimming off the area that was in West Macon, Western Bibb County. They're trimming off some of the storm as it's pushing farther east, but they've even issued a special weather statement. So this is not a severe thunderstorm warning a little bit farther south, but this area is still packing a lot of lightning. This is winds up to 50 miles per hour. So that's nearing the severe criteria, but not quite making it. This is for areas in Twiggs, Wilkinson, Peach, Houston, and Bleckley County. There's a line of strong thunderstorms that's still moving along your area, extending from Warner Robins to near St. Louis and moving east at 35 miles per hour. So this is not severe warned at this time, but these are packing winds 40 to 50 miles per hour, potentially pea-sized hail, and of course that frequent lightning. So this is not a severe thunderstorm warning, but still want to take this one seriously. You don't want to be outside in this. So some of the cities in the path of this storm: Lakeview at 7:33, Centerville at 7:36, Clopine at 7:37, Oak Knolls 7:38, Warner Robins at 7:42, Perry 7:45, Houston Lake 7:49, Lashley at 7:51, Bonaire 7:53, Bullard at 7:55, Sandbed at 7:56, and District Path at 8:07. So this storm is still packing some pretty gusty winds, potentially even that pea-sized hail, but this is not a severe warned storm at this point, but it's still coming with some of those very heavy downpours that's pushing on through. We are just getting some updates now from some of the National Weather Service, even a special weather statement for areas in Washington County, and they are trimming back some of the other warnings. So maybe can we get a little bit of a zoom out to see exactly kind of what's the big picture here? So we still have a few of the warnings out there. They're mostly pushing now to areas Macon and eastward, especially to the northeastward, Jones, Baldwin County, over near Sparta, up down towards Sandersville, Washington County, almost all of Wilkinson County, and still Lawrence County under these severe thunderstorm warnings for these very potentially damaging winds, that frequent lightning that's pushing through. So all in the path of these storms, very active night that's going on, and even through the overnight hours, things should begin to quiet down, but tomorrow could potentially be another active day. We still have about a little less than a half an hour until some of these warnings do begin to exit. That new one that was just issued lastly, that was in Wilkinson County. Ryan, do you know how long that's until 8:15?
Correct.
So that one, we still have a bit longer to go through, but this is the severe risk for tomorrow. So it still is for most of our viewing area: Macon, Thomaston, Forsyth, Irwinton, Wrightsville, Sandersville. You're under a 1, but areas to the south of that are under a 2. That means there could be scattered severe storms firing up again. The primary threats for those damaging winds: Warner Robins, Roberta, Dublin, Hawkinsville, Perry, Vienna, McRae, all under that risk for a level 2 out of 5 for tomorrow. So even after today, we still have that risk for some of these severe storms. But not only is it going to be stormy, it's still going to be hot. Today was incredibly oppressive. I was outside at the gym and there was literally condensation on the windows. The dew points today were up in the 80s for some areas, and it was just it was more than sweltering and oppressive. It was just absolutely downright humid and terrible outside. Now that it's raining, a lot of the heat has come off, so that's at least some good news. But notice areas to the south where it still hasn't rained, you're technically under a heat advisory criteria that's above 105. Montezuma, Americus, still above 107. So here's what it looks like over the next 5 days. Tomorrow and Wednesday, areas that it doesn't rain still could get up nearing that dangerous criteria near 105. But even Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're in that dangerous category. Once we get above 105, that's usually when heat advisories are issued. So there's just so much going on weather-wise. This summer we've had severe storms, we've had this extreme heat that's coming through, and really with this heat, you want to stay hydrated. You don't want to leave any kind of kids or pets alone in cars for even the shortest amount of time. Those cars heat up so fast. I recently changed from parking outside in the sun to a deck underneath, and it's made a world of difference of how hot my car is when I get there in the afternoon. Make sure that pets always have somewhere to stay hydrated as well. So besides some of these severe storms, it's going to be downright hot and extremely humid as well, but that's providing the energy that these storms need to be firing up. So this is what we've currently got going on. There's still very frequent lightnings. That severe warning is still in portions of Macon. I think that's in place until 8 o'clock. That specific one, it's either till 7:45 or 8 o'clock, but still under the warning, with areas in downtown included in that. Dry Branch pushing further into Twiggs County, but the really heavy downpours right now into southern Jones County, southern Baldwin County, Cooper, Ivy, Gordon. This is that blinding rain that's moving through. Hopefully there's not a lot of flash flooding. We got a lot of the storms yesterday, and we're getting more today and potentially even more tomorrow. So the ground is very saturated right now. As we get through the rest of tonight, hopefully we won't have to worry about any flash flooding issues with just the moisture that's in the air. When we have those dew points up near 80 degrees, the atmosphere just has so much moisture to work with, and when these storms, it just wrings out all of that extra moisture in the air. So hopefully we won't have to see any kind of flooding of any sort. If you do though see flooding, especially on the roads, you never want to drive into those flooded roads. It doesn't take a lot of water to lose traction with it, and that can be a big issue when your car gets sucked up by a moving stream of water, even if it's on a road. So never drive into flooded roads. You always remember, turn around, don't drown. It's really not worth it to drive through those flooded waters, but hopefully we won't have to deal with that. Right now, we're still the biggest threats about these damaging winds that's pushing through for all of these areas in the polygon. Most of Washington County, Sandersville, Davisboro, Oconee, McIntyre, Irvington, Ivy, Gordon, all still under the severe thunderstorm warning for those winds damaging up to about 60 miles per hour that can knock over the trees, the power lines. We're still getting some reports in. It's mostly in North Georgia still. In Fulton County, a tree has been down. So we're getting some strong thunderstorms that are even pushing through. Even if it's not a severe warning storm over you, like that one specific cell that's in Houston County, that's still having winds up to 40 to 50 miles per hour that can still blow things over. It's just not in that severe criteria, but it's even coming with those heavy downpours and the frequent lightnings. So hopefully we are definitely taking some of these warnings seriously when they are pushing through. And hopefully as the severe risk lowers tonight, we won't have to deal with too much more, especially heading into tomorrow. Ryan, are you seeing anything new coming in from
No, I was
this?
just excellent job there, Marando. Again,
Thank you.
a lot of talking. We got to take breaks at some point. But again, there's the severe thunderstorm warning. Macon, you're in the clear. That storm has pushed over into Jones and Baldwin County. That warning that'll expire here shortly. Strong storms down into Houston as well as Peach County. Not currently severe, but producing winds maybe up to 50 miles per hour. That can do tree and power issues as well. Strong storm over Lawrence County, got that severe thunderstorm warning, and then you got the large severe thunderstorm warning for much of Washington County. You're actually under two separate severe thunderstorm warnings. You got the southern one and then the northern one with that storm that's coming out of Hancock County, making its way up towards the northern area. Sandersville, you're included in the storm that's going to be coming out of essentially northern Wilkinson County and southern portions of Baldwin County, where you see those bolts of lightning. And what I'm going to do real quick is just show you radar data over the next few hours. Really showing you by 10 or 11 o'clock, the rain and storms will be winding down across Middle Georgia. So thankfully, this will not be an overnight event for us in Middle Georgia. We can all sleep well, but then we roll into tomorrow. More thunderstorms are likely going to develop. And again, a lot of heat, a lot of humidity. These will be those scattered strong storms. We're going to have a complex of storms roll out of Alabama tomorrow afternoon, and that'll move through Middle Georgia. And we'll likely have a damaging wind threat with them again. And that's why we're going with a weather warned day again for tomorrow. And again, late tomorrow afternoon, maybe some strong storms. coming through Macon, as well as Warner Robins, heading over towards Sandersville. And again, not exactly what will happen, but this just gives us an idea that there's still going to be enough energy in the atmosphere for more storms tomorrow across Middle Georgia. And again, we do have much of Middle Georgia under a level 2 risk for severe weather. Macon, right now, level 1, but southern portions of Bibb County, you're under a level 2, and then our southern counties. So better chance for severe weather tomorrow will be across our southern counties. But again, don't let your guard down. We're going to have active weather again tomorrow. And again, we continue to watch several severe thunderstorm warnings across Middle Georgia this evening. Strongest storms essentially in Jones County as well as southern Baldwin County. Those are heading over towards Washington County, northern Wilkinson County. That's what we're dealing with. Strong thunderstorm now to the east of downtown Dublin. That'll continue to slide off towards the east, clipping portions of Johnson County, as well as could get into Treutlen County. I had somebody asking me about Portal, Georgia. That's over in Bullock County. You got rain and storms heading your way. You don't technically belong to our television market. You're going to be more of the Savannah market. So you may want to check those stations down there. They'll have a better idea for you, and that's going to be down in this direction. And then again, from Forsyth back towards Thomaston, severe weather threat is over. Monticello, it's over. Eatonton, the severe weather threat is over. It's essentially from Sparta to Milledgeville to the city of Macon, back towards Butler, off towards the south and east. That's where we're going to continue to watch these strong thunderstorms the next couple of hours. And again, winds 60, 70 miles per hour are going to be the main concern with these storms moving through as we speak. And again, I'm almost good enough to give Macon and Bibb County the all clear. It's raining,
they just did
but we're just watching these storms as they move out of the area. Go ahead.
Yeah, they just did cancel the severe thunderstorm warning for Bibb and even for portions of Jones County, and they also canceled the one for portions of Twiggs County as well. So kind of trimming that off as it moves further.
Excellent. So that'll be updating here in just a second. And as Ryan was just saying, Macon, Bibb County, as well as the Jones County into the Twiggs County, essentially you're done with that severe thunderstorm. And again, this continues to shift off towards the east. Again, 7:44, I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Stinnett, along with my compadre meteorologist Ryan Marando. More severe weather coverage. This is how we're getting to know each other very well, is because it's constant severe weather across portions of Middle Georgia. But again, strong storms from Sparta to Milledgeville down towards McIntyre. This is heading towards Sandersville. You got more strong storms coming into Warner Robins as we speak, as well as Perry. That's not severe, but likely producing winds maybe of 50 miles per hour. And again, that can cause tree and power issues. You get into southern Crawford County, back into Taylor County, more storms, and these will continue to slide off towards the east. As we were saying, the severe thunderstorm watch has been expanded off towards the south and east, and we're going to be seeing that until midnight. But again, this will not last until midnight. The severe weather threat will be over with by then, and I think within the next few minutes we'll probably get another line or two of counties removed from the watch because the severe weather threat continues to decrease from northwest to southeast. But again, if you're down in, say, Telfair County, Montgomery County, Wheeler County, you get Wilcox County, Dodge County, you still got to deal with these severe storms. That stretches back towards Dooley County and Crisp County as well. So more storms are certainly on the way in our southeastern counties, but from Macon off towards the north and west, severe weather threat is winding down across Middle Georgia, and that is certainly some great news. But again, we knew it'd be one of these kind of days, a lot of heat and humidity in the atmosphere. Very odd severe weather setup for us. This is almost like a springtime severe weather setup because it's impacting so much of the deep south and the U.S. We got a level 4 threat for severe weather up around the D.C. area today. Very odd for them to get a threat that high, and especially in the summertime. Usually severe weather threats that high occur in the springtime when it's severe weather season. But again, very strange year we're having, and we think a lot of it has to do with the developing El Nino in the Pacific. We like that because that's keeping the hurricanes away, which we can certainly deal with, but it's actually could be possibly giving us more chances of rain and thunderstorms across Middle Georgia. So it's been a wet and stormy summer for sure. So we're going to continue watching these storms the next few minutes. I think we're going to be, you want to take a break, Miranda?
Yeah, I think we could.
We'll take a break. It's approximately 7:46, 7:47. We'll leave the radar up like we always do. We'll leave it animated, giving you an idea, and we'll jump back on. We need to refresh our batteries on our IFBs and everything, make sure they don't cut out on us. And let's say we'll be back around 8:15 unless conditions warrant. But again, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. Severe threat is beginning to decrease from northwest to southeast. So once this line passes your location, the threat will be winding down. But again, we'll leave the stream up on Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube and on our WGXA weather app, so you can still watch the storms as they move through. And for now, we'll say we'll be back at approximately 8:15 across portions of middle Georgia. And again, we'll be looking for any damage reports. If you see any damage or hear of any damage, pass it on to us. Send it to news@wgxa.tv. Of course, you can send pictures in through the Chime In on the news app. Keep that in mind. Only take those pictures and send them to us if it's safe at your location. But again, we'll be back at approximately 8:15. Again, I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Stinnett, along with Meteorologist Ryan Marando. And we're back real quick with an update. Good news is severe weather threat is really winding down across much of middle Georgia. No active warnings. The warning for Washington County has just expired, but still strong storms affecting portions of Washington County, getting into Wilkinson County, down into portions of essentially, you really get into like Twiggs County, then down towards Houston County, Bleckley County, and then over into Lawrence County. But I really think we are done with the severe weather threat across much of middle Georgia. Now, here's the update on the watch. A lot of counties have been removed. We still have our southeastern counties. This will go until midnight. It will be removed by then. The severe weather threat's going to be over with. But again, from Macon to Montezuma up to Milledgeville, back off towards the north and west, the severe weather threat is over. These storms are gradually weakening. Doesn't mean we can't have another severe thunderstorm warning or two, but overall the severe weather threat is done for much of middle Georgia. So we'll watch these the next couple of hours until they get out of the area. What we're going to do, we'll go ahead and end the live stream because the overall widespread severe weather threat is over. But again, just heads up, Twiggs County, Bleckley County, Lawrence County, more strong storms heading your way, lightning and gusty winds. And of course, if any more severe thunderstorm warnings are issued, looks like those are mainly over towards the Savannah area and South Carolina area. Again, tomorrow, more storms are in the forecast. We're going to go weather warn again tomorrow because we do have at least a level 2 threat for much of middle Georgia. More storms will develop as we head through the day tomorrow, so do keep that in mind. But overall, that's been another active day for us. I'm going to look at social media real quick, see if anybody else is all right, few people saying no power issues. Again, that's what we're going to be dealing with the next couple of hours, gusty winds, as these storms continue to push off towards the south and east. But again, most of the severe weather threat is over for much of middle Georgia. And again, you got to get off towards the south and east. We're saying from Sandersville down towards Cochran, Dublin, then heading over towards, say, Soperton, Vidalia, and you get over into Wheeler and Montgomery County. That's where you're going to be dealing with these storms the next couple of hours. But even the last hour or so, lightning output has decreased. Doesn't mean we can't have a severe thunderstorm warning or two in our southeastern counties. But again, this round of severe weather gradually winding down, and I really expect by 10 o'clock, most of this activity is out of here. Again, we'll have more storms across middle Georgia tomorrow, so do keep that in mind. And again, we're going to go ahead and wind this round of severe weather down for us all. So that means we're going to end our streaming platforms. But of course, you can always download the WGXA weather app, as it will continue to have active weather across middle Georgia tomorrow and the next several days. I really think we're going to stay very active as we head throughout the week. But again, for meteorologist Ryan Marando and myself, Chief Meteorologist Ryan Stinnett, thanks for joining us this evening. And again, we'll keep you informed and up to date. We'll have the latest forecast on tomorrow.